Hello and welcome to 5 for Friday for this Friday, August 23rd, 2023, where we're rapidly approaching back to school time. I hope you enjoy watching these videos as much as I enjoy putting them together. It's so much fun to read all the news stories, make all the connections, think about the impacts they might have on small businesses. And I've got some fun and interesting topics for you this week, and yes, AI is one of them, can't seem to get away from it. Let's see what else we can discuss, starting with our topic number 1, retail transformations. COVID and technology have transformed how we like to shop and dine, and some evidence of this change, which isn't going back to pre-pandemic normal, includes more prepared meals in grocery stores competing with restaurants, and more personalized shopping recommendations from AI beyond just on Amazon, like maybe for your small business. Other changes in the retail news include a test convenience store where there are no products on the shelves. You pick what you want on the app or on a touchscreen in the store, and someone brings it all out to you. And did you know that Amazon is rolling out a pay with your palm feature at Whole Food stores? They're hoping to dominate the digital wallet market ahead of Google and Apple with this hand-scanning payment option. Based on how well my finger can open my iPad and laptop right now, I'm not fully on board just yet. And moving on to story number 2. Space is for entrepreneurs. Sure, countries are focused on the moon, like Russia, whose lunar mission recently ended in a crash landing, and India, whose lunar mission landed successfully a couple days later. And the big tech companies are in the race to bring commercial space travel to the super rich, including Virgin Galactic, which was just up in space, and Blue Origin, which is, well, working on doing the same. And of course, SpaceX, which burned up a launch site, creating some issues with the FAA for its next launch license. But NASA is trying to be equal opportunity, which is why we can also expect to see smaller startups and small businesses meeting the needs of space travel moving forward. One startup already has a contract with NASA to launch satellites for studying climate change. And another is working to build a 3D map of the Earth, which can help with driverless vehicles and many other applications. There's about $137 billion in opportunities through NASA and space exploration in the next 10 years. Will any of that money be going to you and your business? All right, let's move on to story number 3, big oil. It's been a good year for big oil firms, which were able to not only increase production, but also see record profits and boatloads of cash recently. What will they do with all that cash? Well, some of them are building or buying carbon removal technology known as direct air capture, so they can not only sell carbon credits to big companies like Microsoft, but also offset their own output and keep producing oil and gas. What does the future look like for big oil? Well, they seem to be having lots of trouble attracting college students to work in petroleum engineering. The college kids see the writing on the wall. Fossil fuels are going to be replaced with renewable energy, and they don't want to be out of a job in 10 years. The question is, does big oil see the same writing? All right, moving on to story number 4, the politics of climate change. Closely connected to our last topic, let's take a look at how climate change and politics are becoming intertwined. Pew Research reports that 2/3 of the US believe we should be prioritizing renewable energy over oil and gas, but we're also reluctant to phase out fossil fuels altogether. And only about half of big company CEOs see climate change as a risk to their business, and less than a quarter of them think they will see disruption in their business due to climate issues. Politics certainly enters this realm as Democrats and Republicans are growing further apart in their concerns about climate change. I think you already know where they both stand. So perhaps it's not surprising to hear that videos that deny climate science and portray wind and solar as bad for the environment are now part of the state curriculum in Florida. If you don't learn about climate change, it won't happen? Swiss citizens who lost an entire mountain peak might disagree, but the challenge is we cannot make any accurate predictions about how our actions today might impact the future in 100, 50, or even 20 years. In my opinion, just because no one knows exactly what might happen in the future is a poor excuse to continue using up natural resources that are not renewable. Okay, and let's move on to our final story, number 5. Guess what? AI and robots. You knew it was coming. Can't get past a week without a story on AI. In this case, we start with back to school, where teachers and professors are trying to figure out how tools like ChatGPT can be an asset or a learning tool rather than a means for cheating. I am so glad I don't teach at the university anymore. And we are seeing more of a variety in robots and chatbots, including a newly released Apollo walking robot for performing warehouse tasks. And Protobot is a device that combines holographic visuals with conversational AI. So you can have philosophical conversations with this holographic robot, just like William Shatner did recently. There's a link in the paid newsletter if you subscribe. And full disclosure, a former peer member of mine partnered his conversational AI firm CodeBaby with Proto for this new development. So way to go, CodeBaby. In other robot news, we are in a world similar to the movie Her, which was from 10 years ago, where lonely folks can carry on a conversation with a chatbot like they would with a friend. And we are getting ever closer to the concept of robot nannies. The question is, how will AI bots who care for your kids affect early childhood development? I guess we'll find out. Considering we are poor at making predictions, I guess we, or our kids or grandkids, will just have to wait to see which path the decisions we're making now will lead. Fingers crossed, or put some maybe ethics and regulations in place just to be safe. Finally, one quick bonus story. Did you know that Thursday, August 24th was a very big day this week? Not only was it Pumpkin Spice Latte Introduction Day at Starbucks, but it is also apparently, and for no obvious reasons, the sickest day of the year, with more people calling in sick annually on August 24th than any other day of the year. I hope you enjoyed your sick day this week. And thanks for joining me for this week's 5 for Friday. Remember, if you want to get all the links, all the resources, and my full take on all these topics, then be sure to check out my paid subscription newsletter that gives you everything in the video and more. You can find that on my website at learn-grow.com/5forFriday. And again, these videos always made available completely for free, either through an email sign up on my webpage or by subscribing on my @Learn-Grow YouTube channel. Thanks for watching and have a great Friday.